Hello and welcome back to Salesforce LWC. Thank you so much for showing so much interest in our LWC tutorials. We are excited to take a step further with our LWC projects. We are going to wrap up the series of LWC with our LWC projects. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Salesforce LWC channel and turn on the notification so that you do not miss any video. So without further ado, let's get started.
First project is going to be resume builder. So in this video, we'll be covering like resume builder demo first, and then we'll be going for the folder structure. How's the like what are the different components we are going to create? Then the concepts which we'll be like covering while doing the project. And then we'll be simply like starting with the code, right? So yeah, like as the project name is resume builder, it's going to be like this. You see, here we have like several sections over here, like for personal information, education, work experience, and all, and summary. And then a preview will be displayed at like live preview will be displayed whenever I'll make any change, like add any in any of these information. The live preview of the resume will be seen at the very bottom of the page. You can see here. So if I'll start filling the information, so for example, let's say Harry is there, Harry Potter, and it's like here I need to put the email. Mm, and the phone number is going to be something like this. Yeah, and then address is going to be, let's say, this one. Yeah, sure. Just and then the education I'll be adding here, let's say. Here the institution name is, let's say, XYZ1, and the year is, let's say, 2012, right? So another education I can add, like just by clicking on this add education button, I can add more and more education, whatever the education done. Here I can add that, like the degree and the institution name. Yeah. I'm just keeping a dummy data for now. And you see, like whenever I'm like writing these information, you'll find that this whole thing, the resume preview is displayed in this way, right? So Harry Potter is the name, the education is this, these are the contact details. This is the like whole information. Now adding the work experience, let's say Harry Potter did started the Salesforce development journey, and yeah, the company ABC and ABC1, and then like the year was like 2013, let's say, and 20 till 2016 he worked there, and then after that he's worked as a Salesforce, started working as a Salesforce consultant. And then the like information, like company name is ABC2, let's say. And yeah, so yeah, I could have used like any date, like date input field here, but yeah, you can see like if I'll be using that, then there will be a fixed format. I can give the date, right? But here I can give the date in any format I want, right? So yeah, so here I'll be giving like hmm, start date. Okay, so it was date, so I need to specify in this way. Same, 12th July and something like this, and first November. And here like we can give like 18th November 2020 2016, and yeah, and it is present, let's say. So in this way we can keep the information, right? And yeah, and we have like skills here. We have like we can add the skills, whatever the skills one individual is having. Like so, Salesforce Apex, Salesforce LWC, Salesforce, or we can add here data security, JavaScript, strong communication or communication, I can say. Right, so these are the couple of skills which got added. So the time I am keep like adding the skills, all of these things, at that moment itself, you see the resume is getting formed with all the information in a particular format, right? So and then the summary. So summary is going to be like experienced Salesforce consultant from last, say, 10 years, whatever it is. Yeah, so like this, we can add the summary. So this is the resume which got formed out of the information we filled here, right, in different sections. So this is a resume, a simple resume builder which we are going to create. And while creating this resume builder, we'll be creating like the folder structure is going to be like the main, there will be a main component resume builder which is the parent of all the components. And we have like multiple child components like personal information, education, for work experience, for skills, for summary, and for preview resume. For all of these are the going to be the child component, right? And why I have kept every single section in different what I can say, different components. The reason is very simple, that to keep the code like smaller, if I had done the whole thing in resume builder itself in a single component, that could be little complex, as well as the whole code length will increase, and that will reduce the readability. And so that's why I had divided it into multiple components so that we can reuse them as well again whenever we need it. So that's about this resume build up folder structure, and the concepts which we are going to cover while doing this whole particular like project. We'll be covering SLDS styling, like the classes which are there, pre-built classes. We'll be learning how we can use them one by one, like when we'll be giving different styling for different, because we are going to refer every time for like this particular UI every time, like how it is looking like, then and accordingly we'll make the change in our code. So for giving the styling, we'll use SLDS styling. We'll also use pre-built components, like pre-built LWC components for these input box, lightning card, icons are there, right? So we'll be using that. And then parent to child and child to parent will also be covered, because what we need to do when the like how the communication is going to happen. Personal information component, education, work experience, skill summary, all of these child components are going to send the information to resume builder component. But resume builder have to send this whole information whenever the resume builder is receiving the information. The that information needs to be sent to preview resume so that we can see the live changes over here. So that is something we need to do. Then we'll be covering like so this is how we'll be covering like parent to child and child to parent component. Like then we'll be understanding how to use array and like objects as well, because in this whole thing you see like we are using some array or some objects in order to store the data of these, like whatever the things I am adding over here, work experience, education. So these are stored in array of objects or objects. So in order to like we will be handling them, how we'll be storing the data, how we'll be managing them, and then finally we need to like send them, how we are sending them. So that whole thing we'll need to understand, so that we'll be seeing. And After that, event handling, at every moment there is an event is getting called. Like whenever I am typing over here, then the event is getting called. Handler is getting called. So when I am typing in any of the input field, or I'm yeah, so at every moment the event is event handler is there, which is getting trigger on whenever we write something in these inputs. So that event handler is doing the further things, further actions, like sending the information to the uh, like uh, other the this particular resume builder component, the parent component of this whole uh, all of these child components. And then resume builder is further sending the information to this preview component, right? Preview resume component. So yeah, these are the main concepts we are going to cover. Of course, we'll be doing debugging as well, so that you will get to know like how the things works. If we'll face any error, definitely we'll might be facing the errors. So yeah, let's start. Let's do the code implementation now. Okay, so here we have our VS code, and you see I have already created one component, resume builder. It's empty. We'll be writing the code from scratch. So yeah, so here first of all, let me configure this resume builder file, meta.xml file. I'll make it is exposed true, and I'll be making it visible on the uh what I can say, a tab. So yeah, I'll be adding targets here, and yeah, target is going to be lightning tab. So basically we'll be creating lightning component tab in our org, and that is something which we'll be working in, right? uh like the whole information will be displayed. Okay, so this resume builder component will not consist of much of the things. The things are we have divided into like small components, like personal information component. So we need to create another component here in LWC, which is going to be personal information component. Personal information, this is the name I am giving. And yeah, so the component this is a mistake in the, let me delete it. Okay, let me create again info component. Yeah, that's it. So another component got created with name personal info, right? So here we have the HTML file, JS file. So we'll be simply referring this UI, and we'll try to put the data right accordingly. So the first thing you see here, the whole information is enclosed of this personal information component is enclosed within a card. So we'll be directly going, and here we'll be using lightning card, right? So lightning card we'll be creating. Yeah, so now here is an icon as well. Like there is an icon as well. I'll show you like how we can check the code of lightning card. We need to simply go to component library, and yeah, after going there, we'll be searching for the card. Yes, so we have this card component, and we can see the card with custom title and icons we can use within the card itself. Yeah, we need something like this. Any other example we have? Yeah, so yeah, this seems similar to the UI which is over here. So yeah, we'll be using this kind of card. The card will be this, and the variant is narrow. Okay, for the icon, we need to use this. So we'll copy this particular part. And for the title, we'll be using title attribute. So title is going to be, let's see the title. Title is personal information. I'm copying this and pasting it over here. Yeah, so that's the title is personal information and the icon name is like a student colon account. And yeah, after this, like within the card, there will be some input tags, like for the full name. Yeah, and the icon we need to change, right? This is the icon we need to use. So we'll see, for the icons, we can go to Lightning Design System. Yeah, so this is the site we have, a dedicated site for icons and everything like related to design. So if I'll search for icon here, we have some icons. Let's see. So this will come under which category? If I'll check. Um, so it will come under like this kind of category most probably, like standard and custom, because it's similar. If you see, it looks similar to this only. So yeah, we'll see here. There are many icons here. Okay, so this is not. So yeah, this icon, if I'll check again, it seems like a chip kind of icon. So here we have. Yeah, so here you can see we have this icon, custom 63, similar to this one. So we'll use this one only, and here we need to make a little change, like icon name will be, it's going to be custom, and the name of icon is custom 63. So that's so we are done with the heading part here, like, and now we need to simply add the input fields, like for the first name, and all are like text type of input field. I can give this one as email, this one I can keep as phone, and I think this is going to be text as well, like full name and address is going to be text. So for that input, I can directly write the code, but yeah, let's refer from the component library itself, right? Uh, so here we have, yeah, so this is the lightning input text type, and there is a label with that. I'll copy this whole thing. Yeah, here we have the text type input, and here we can write full name. This is the label we are having, right? So personal information icon is there. Yeah, let's move ahead now. And okay, before that, let's deploy, and if there is a need of any padding and all, we'll give that. But let's see how it looked like. So I am going to put it in the resume builder component itself. So C dash uh in the resume builder HTML file I'm writing. So I need to refer this child component, which is personal info component. Yeah, that's it. Simple. And now I'm gonna be simply deploying this one. Also, I'll open the default org. Okay. So I can search SFDX, open default org, and yeah, here we have deployed this, and now we need to deploy resume builder component. Okay, so it's not opening. No worries. Let's go there, and we log in automatically, and now yeah, we logged in, and so let's see. We'll go first and create a tab where the resume builder, like for dedicatedly for like displaying the resume builder component. I'm going to create one tab here. Resume builder is the component name, and I'll give the name as resume builder. That's it. Let's select the icon, any tab style I can select here. Hmm, let's keep it this, and next. Saving this, we'll go here and we'll check. We do have resume builder. Yes, let's open it. This is a different dog. This is a different dog, right? You see, till now we had achieved this much only, and you see, there is a difference. There is a padding around this whole content, right? So we need to give the horizontal padding because the above spacing, I can say the top padding is seems same, but the horizontal padding we need to give. So what we'll be doing is we'll be giving the horizontal padding we can give to the card, or we can wrap up this whole into a div. And yeah, so let me just close this. So for padding again, and horizontal padding, we'll again search here in the lightning design system for padding, like how much horizontal padding we need to give. So let's see, here it's loading. Yeah, so here we have the horizontal padding. It's none, it's extra, very small, right? And yeah, this one, let's see how much we need to. Okay, it's two, I think. Let's see. This one, yeah, this one seems good. Yeah, this one. So we'll use this padding and let's try it out. And if it works, then great. I'll copy this and I'm gonna be pasting it over here. Mhm. Like div, and inside the div I'll be giving the class. This is the class. Now again deploying it. I'll go to my website, I'll refresh it, like empty cache and hard refresh. And I had opened inspect over here because then only the browser option, this particular option at the top left corner, you see there is a refresh button. So on right click of this, these three options only comes when we open the inspect. So that's why I had given this. And now you see it's like we need to compare it again. So it's no, it should be like I think a little more higher padding. Okay. So which one seems good? This much. Let's try this one. Medium padding. Fast. And now deploying this. Okay. And then now I'll refresh the page again. Now it seems a little higher, I think. Yeah. So okay, we got the best one. Like this one is the best one. This is small, padding horizontal is small. Yeah, this is the correct one. Let's simply use this particular. Yeah, that's done. Okay, so now we'll see later like deploying. But before that, let's add few more input box. Like after full name, we can add email. So let's say add email after this. Now the type is going to be email itself, and the label is going to be email. Then for the after that we have phone number. For phone number, we can use the type as phone, and here we can write phone. Yeah. Okay. And then we have address. For address, we can again use text. And here I can specify label as address. Yeah, so these are the four input boxes. So we are like our UI, the first UI of this personal information component is almost ready. Let's simply deploy it and see if it's working properly or not. It's shown as this much, as same as this or not. Let's see. I'll refresh the page again and let's see the change. You see, it's almost similar to this, or it's exactly same as this one, right? It is exactly same as this one. So our UI part is ready. Now we'll be moving ahead with the JavaScript part, right? So what we need to do is we need to send the information, whatever the information. Okay, let's do one thing. Shall we complete the component first, or shall we simply design others as well, other components as well? Okay, so what we can do is we can design other components as well further. So then we have education detail component. Okay, let's create education detail component. Functionality part we'll do a little later. First, let's do the designing part. Education detail. So this is the component we have, and here inside this component, the UI is going to be similar to this one. So I'm just copying that personal information component and pasting it over here in the education component. Yeah, I need to change the title now. This time the title is going to be education detail. And the icon will remain the same. And here we have the input box. First is for the degree. So it's going to be text only. And here the label is going to be degree. And then next one is institution. So, so the type is going to be text again, and the institute name is going to be, uh, yeah, the label institute. Yeah, and then we have the year. For year, we can take a number here as the type, and the next one is happened. And then the next one is, yeah, these are the three things we have. So that's all. And yeah, after this, we have button, right? Like to add more and more education, right? So let's simply after the div, we'll create a button here. Within the lightning card, the button is going to be lightning. Okay. So for button again, let's go to the component library. Here we have to search for button, and here we have like buttons, basic buttons. So the color of the button is, it seems like, I think, neutral. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like neutral. Or brand outline. Brand outline, I think. Because there is a outline over here, and yeah, so we need to use brand outline. Here we'll be having a button with variant as brand outline, and the label is if that's correct. Okay, and title is going to be the label, and title I can change from here. So the label is going to be mm, add experience, and same is going to be the just a minute, add education. So add education is the label, and title I am keeping it as same. And yeah, so this is the margin left. Yeah, let's keep this for now. And the button is added, but yeah, like we haven't added a functionality. Like when I'll click on this, then another like new set of buttons will new set of inputs will be shown repetitively. So we haven't added that functionality yet. But yeah, one thing we can do for now, like here we can, okay, let's keep the structure first of all. So I'm deploying this. Before that, I need to refer it in this particular component. So for referring, we can use C dash education, and detail, like kebab case syntax we are following. One more thing over here, like if I have just observed that there is a horizontal line here just after this education detail, if you see. So I need to simply add one, like after the heading part, we need to add one horizontal line over here. So we can use HR tag for that. And after the horizontal line, there is some gap over here. So yeah, over here I'll write the class as for giving the margin bottom. This is something I can use, or I can search over here. It's a horizontal margin. Okay, it's not a horizontal line, it's something else because it's over the border as well. So I do remember there is something called as box. We have, let's see over here. Yeah, so it's similar to this one. So yeah, we just have to keep the code in a div, and we'll give that div another styling, which is going to be box, SLDS box. And that's it. Okay, so that's done. Now, after this, we'll add, we'll create another component. But let's first add this This is added here. Okay. And now I need to deploy it. Deploying the education detail component. And now after this, I'll deploy the resume builder component. Once they get successfully deployed, yes, they got successfully deployed, then I'll be refreshing my page and see the change. I'll open the inspect, empty cache and hard refreshing. Yeah, so here we have like, it seems a little like almost little similar to this one. But yeah, there is a change. Like I need to make a change here. Like the button border outline color is something different. Outline, or I can say border. So what I can do for that. Okay, let's see that later, right? Let's focus on the structuring part. So furthermore, let's create another component. I'm gonna be creating another component with the name work experience. Work experience. Done. Created another one, and it's going to be similar. Like it's going to be as same as the education one, because here also like if I'll check here, yeah, it's almost same like here, but the only difference is there are four input box here, but the button is also there, and yeah, as same as the education one. So let's use the same code for which we have used in education component. Copying this code and now putting it over here, the HTML part. So yeah, we have like here we need to change like its work experience. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying is like work experience component is there. So I have added the title as work experience here, and after that we need to make the change in the input fields. If the first one is going to be job title, it's going to be job title. Right, and then the next one is going to be the company name. Again, text field, text input, company name. After that, you need to specify start date and end date. So start date is going to be there, and so that's going to be text. And here we need to specify the start date, and then here end date. It's again going to be text. Okay, same, yes. So now after that we have a button add experience. So here instead of education, I'll make it experience, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so then now we'll deploy this component, and we'll keep put it in the child component, in the parent component, which is resume builder. So just after this, I'll add work experience component here. It also got added, and now after this, now I need to add the skills section. So, but before that, let's deploy this and let's see if it looks good or not. See, we have now the personal information component education with the box. So yeah, I think there is a need of giving some, okay. So here I need to give some margin bottom in the education, as well as like there is a class I need to specify for margin bottom. So I can use something like this. Margin and bottom. Yeah. So I think it's okay. Let me deploy this. And if I'll inspect here, if I'll be refreshing again, oh, not this one. I need to refresh this. We got an error. See, okay, so here we have like a little bit of a space, but it's I need to increase it, I think. Yeah. So it should not be extra small, it should be small. Similar to the one in the personal information, I think I have used it. Simply small. So going to the education, here we need to specify small. That's it. Deploying this. I need to refresh this page. Yeah, now that the spacing is almost same. Yeah, I think it's exact same. And that's done. So same class I'll be using in the work experience component as well, because these two education and work experience are same, like almost similar. So done. Adding the styling over here, like the horizontal is horizontal, like padding we had given, margin bottom we had given, and now after this, let's move ahead with the component which is a skill section, right? So we'll create a skills component. So created a component name skills. Inside this, there will be one input and there will be a button. Okay, so let's use the same like component as this one, education one. I'll copy this whole thing and I'll paste it in the HTML of this. Here I'll write simply the title as a skills, and yeah, these all going to be the styling. And the skill, for the skill there will be a text input, and after that here like there will be a button which will be add skill button. That's it. Okay, done. So we had created this component as well. Let me just add it on the page, on the resume builder component, where it is. Yeah, it is here. So now adding this C dash resume builder. C dot dash skills component. That's it. Now after that, after this particular one, we'll be creating another summary one, which is using a text area component. So let's create another component. summary. So another component got created. Summary component is going to be simple. Like here we'll be using a different component, which is text area component. Let's see, is there any text area component we have? Yeah, we do have a text area component, and how it looks like. Yeah, it looks like this. And if I'll check here, like I need the same one. But yeah, here in this component, there's no spacing like padding given over here. But let's keep the same padding as the above ones just to maintain the alignment. So the code for this is going to be this one. Yeah. So I'm gonna be adding it in the HTML of this, and I'll take the reference from the personal information component. I'll give these two things here in the summary component. HTML, first one is the lightning card. Within that, there is a div, and then there will be a text area. So let's keep it like this. This will be like more better UI. So keeping this, and now here will be like the title is going to be summary, and yeah, here the label is going to be summary itself. Let's see. Yeah, summary. Hmm, if I'll see the final, like, okay, I haven't added it, this summary component there in the resume builder. So I'll add it here, C dash summary, and that's it. And now deploying this, refreshing the page. You see, so we have the personal information, education, work experience, skills, and summary. All of these aligned very properly. Like it's almost similar to this one. And here, we'll be like there are some functionalities here. Like if whatever the things I'll write here, it comes into this, like are getting previewed over here, you see. So that is something which we need to do. In order to do that, we need to add a functionality to like whatever we are adding here, writing here in this whole thing. Whatever we are typing here in these input boxes, that shall go into the parent component, which is resume builder component. That is the first part, right, of this particular personality of previewing the data, functionality of previewing the data. So yeah, so let's move ahead and start with the with adding the functionality in this personal info component. So what we'll be doing is we'll be simply creating a function here, like handle full name change, or a handle change, handle input function I can create. Okay, and so here we will be getting some data. like through this event keyword, right? How we'll be getting? What we'll be doing is here, let me do one thing. I can give a data attribute here, data dash, let's say ID, not only here, everywhere. Uh, okay, so here I'm gonna be giving data attribute all over here. Yeah, so the data attribute for this one is going to be name. For this one is going to be like it's going to be full name for this one, and it's going to be email for this one, phone and address. Right. So whenever any change, and now another thing I need to add, one handler I'll be adding here in all of these functions, all of these input boxes. So handler is going to be for on change, and here I'll be specifying the function handle personal info change, right? Or I can keep it shorter as well. Handle PI, handle PI change. Yeah. So this is the function I have to define. So the name is handle PI change. We'll be getting through this event this whole information like what input box it is. We could have used label as well, but yeah, let's use data ID because this is something we will be using multiple times, and I want you to understand this as well. So just use this particular part, data ID, and here how we'll be receiving the data. Let we'll be simply like field name. We'll write field name is equals to event dot target dot data set dot id. We can use this one like in order to access the data attribute, data id attribute, or any other attribute like data dash field will be there. So I just have to change here from data set dot id to data set dot field. So this is what we can write, and after that, uh, okay, yeah, that will be more meaningful. So let's keep it like field, and here I'll copy this and I'm gonna be specifying over here field. And after that, let's take the value. How we'll be getting the value? Field value. So we'll be getting from here itself event dot target dot value. And this is how we'll be getting the value. And after that, after getting both of these information, we just have to set the property. Let's create a property, or there's no need of setting the property as well. Like I can simply uh, define another function here, like update resume function, and this is how like this will in this way I'm going to create a custom event. Let's create a custom event, and this is going to receive both of these things, field name and field value. So we will be I think I need to create a property here which is going to be personal info or personal, yeah, information property. It's going to be an empty object initially, but yeah, so whenever we'll be getting some value, we'll be assigning into this property, this dot personal information equals square brackets. So let's do it over here itself. This dot personal information field name will be specifying and we'll be assigning some value to it, field value. That's simple. Now after that, we'll be calling this function update resume. This dot update resume function. And yeah, here inside this, I am going to create a custom event. So yeah, so these lines, the above two lines, we have simply, what we had done here is simply accessed value, accessed values from UI using event keyword. And here what we did, updated the property with for a particular field. And then here we are simply sending dispatching information. So in this calling update resume function. I hope this is clear. This particular part is clear. Now we'll move ahead to the update resume function. So here what we are going to do, we will be creating a custom event, and let's say the event name is update personal info, update PI. That's it, simple. And then and after, okay, yeah, so event update PI event I have created using new custom event, and here I have to specify the name of the event, which is this one, update PI. And here after that we'll dispatch this event. So in order to dispatch the event, we need to use this dot dispatch event method. So what we are doing in here now, we are dispatching the event. So here what we'll be doing, we'll be passing the event first, which is this one. And I think here we need to pass the not here. Maybe I think I need to pass it in the above statement. While creating the event, I need to pass the data like detail. So in detail, I'll be passing the updated this personal information. This is something which I'll pass. I need to use this keyword to access this property, class property. Okay, so this event will get dispatched over here. Yeah, that's done. So we need to handle this event as well, right? So as we have created this event, let's handle it in the resume builder. So in the resume builder, we'll be simply writing over here on this particular event. A function shall get called, which is update PI handle. Function name is handle update PI. And I'm gonna be simply defining this function over here. So we'll be getting an event, And from event.detail, we'll be having the whole personal information in the event.detail. So that will be storing here in a property personal info. As simple as that. It's going to be initially empty, but later we are going to assign it a value using this. That's done. So this is how we'll be working, right? So the half part is done for specifically like this personal information. So this is the same thing we are going to do in every other component. Like we'll be like creating the like attribute, will be giving some attributes, and we'll be using on change on change hand event, and we'll be defining one handler that's going to set the value, and then after that we'll be updating the resume by creating an event and dispatching the information, the updated information. So just to verify like this is working or not, what we do is we'll be going into the resume builder, and here let me just console the information. This dot personal info I can copy here, I can paste it over here, and I'll deploy now. The personal information first was this component, and then I'll deploy this resume builder. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let me clear the console here. If I'll write something, it's not printing anything here in the console. So there is a possibility that this particular thing which we have, the functionality which we have created is not working properly. Let's see here. I need to put console everywhere, almost everywhere I have to put the console. So let me put it over here. Log, resume builder, one, and it's going to be two, removing this. Here also I'll put the console log pi1, after this line pi2, after this line pi3, right? So that we'll get to know like which particular line is giving the error or which particular line is not working. See, so this is how you can debug your code, right? Like the code is working properly or not. So, and this will like through this you will get the exact idea where exactly the code is stucking or where exactly the code like you are getting the. So that is what like this console.log is something which you can use in this case, right? So yeah, that's done. Now deploying again. Deploying the resume builder component again. I think there's no need of deploying the parent component again and again. Let's refresh the page and see. Okay, so if I'll write something here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6. All of these are getting executed, but this haven't executed like all the numbers got executed. Yeah, everything got executed. Let's deploy the parent component. I so maybe it haven't got saved. Now let's see. And if I'll write something here, yeah, so everything is running now properly. Resume builder 1 and resume builder 2 is also executing. So you're getting the proper update. Let's see now here if I'll console this as well, like the personal information. Is it printing that as well or not? Let's deploy this. Yeah, let's see here. I'll write something here. See, I'm getting proxy. I'll copy this proxy and let's see here what exactly it's giving. Yeah, it's giving the proper information like hello. Like this is something which I have specified and we got it. Okay. So great. So it's working fine. Everything is working properly. So yeah, let's move ahead now. Let's do the same for the skill for the summary part because it's easy. So let's do first for the summary part. Here I need to define two functions like the way we defined in the personal information, like here in the JavaScript part. I'll copy this whole and I'm gonna be pasting it in the summary JS. And here it's going to be summary, which is going to be in the form of a string. And instead of pi, I can write here summary everywhere instead of pi. This one. Yeah, that's it. After that, here we'll be getting the field and the value. It's going to be one field only, so there's no need of field and value kind of thing. I think if we'll be using Lightning text area directly, that will also work. Or yeah, we can use event dot target dot value directly. We need not have to use this whole thing. Let's remove this. We can directly assign the value to this property, which is summary. This dot summary equals this, and yeah, we need not have to do this particular part. Let's remove this. Now, after this, we'll be for updating the resume, we'll be sending in the detail the summary, and yeah, instead of update pi, this time the event name would be update summary, simple, and it's going to be all in a small. Copying this, yeah, here also it's going to be same. Summary event, right? Now I need to handle this event in my resume builder HTML on update summary. We need to call a function, and let's the function name is handle update summary, and it's going to be similar as this one. Update summary, and what I need to do, handle update summary, and here I need to use a property which is summary property. It's going to be empty string initially. Here we are updating its value like this. Let me again verify like this. Yeah, so that's good. I can deploy this now. I can deploy my resume builder as well. And let's see if it's working for the summary part or not. Okay, I haven't put it the handler over here. So on, what's the handler? On P handle summary change. It's going to be the handler. Let me copy this, pasting it over here. On change, and the name of the handler is going to be this. See, I need to change. Now deploying. Yeah, done. And here we have like let's see now. Here we see. So I need to write something here. Let's see if it's working or not. Hello. So it's giving some data. Let's see that data is it's empty. Why it's empty? We are getting an empty data. I think maybe we need to pass the data in the form of in this form. Are we getting the value here? Summary. If I'll change in the report resume builder. Right. Checking again. Yeah, so we are sending the data and it's still empty. What's going on? Okay, I'm printing personal information over here. Oh my God. I need to check the summary. This dot summary. Yeah, now deploying. Okay, so we are getting the data. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's move ahead and we are done with this particular part as well, like summary part as well. We are able to send the data to the resume builder. Now we'll do the same for skills, right? In skills, we need to ensure one thing, right? There is a functionality we are having here. Like it's not only like sending the data functionality is there. We are having the functionality to add multiple skills. Like if you see here, I can add like Java, and then I can add another like Salesforce admin. You see, so we are like when I click on add a skill button, then another same kind of UI again appears. So this is something which we need to handle in this case. So for that, what I'll do is I'll be creating an array. which is going to be skills. It's going to be empty initially, or it's going to be having a single item initially. The single item will be having ID as 1, or yeah, ID as, yeah, let's keep it 0. And then the value or the skill will be something that user will specify. It's I'm keeping it as empty for now. Yeah, so this is going to be initially, right? So what I'll do is I'll be iterating this input box I am displaying, right? I need to iterate over this input box again and again. So I'm going to use template for each. For that, template for each I'll be using, and template for each will be traversing over the skills property with name skills, and we'll be using for item, in which we'll be getting skill, like I'm specifying a skill variable. So that is something we need to do, and here we need to specify the, so every skill will be having its own button, or it's going to be like, okay, so no. So that's all. Like, it's going to be our input field, which will be there in the skill section. So for each skills, for item is going to be, the variable is going to be a skill, and for index is going to be, let's keep it as index, right? Okay, and now you see I'm getting an error, like warning, I need to add key attribute. So let's add the key attribute. I can use, for key attribute I can use anything, like I can use skill dot id as well, because we are using one, like while created this array I am using id, I am specifying id as well, so I can specify id as well, or like anything I can specify. So, or I can use index as well. So I have used id in this case, and yeah, this key which we specify needs to be unique. Make sure to specify something which is always unique. uh, so that is something which we need to take care of. Otherwise, it's not going to, like, rendering will take place. Like, there could be some errors in rendering or conflicts in rendering. So make sure always assign to this key attribute a unique value. After this, here, so the value inside this input box will be the skill dot skill, right? Something like this. I can say. Uh, or I can give here something else to avoid confusion. I can write skill name. Yeah, that will be more better. Name, skill dot name, and yeah, that's done almost. I feel let's, so on change I'll be applying here again on change. So whenever this input will get changed, also I need to have the index. So for that I'll be using data dash index. That will be assigned with index itself. And on change, what I'll do, I'll call one function handle skill change, right? So this is the function I am going to call. And yeah, on lightning, so there is another function I need to define, like on click of this button, add skill button, an increment should happen, like another JSON should get added like this. So manually I'm doing, automatically it should happen whenever I'll click on add skill button like this. This is something, and the ID should be incremented. So this is something which we need to do. So yeah, so I'll create function, add skill function. Yeah, I have specified here add skill function, handle skill change function. So let's define them one by one. So handle skill change function we'll define first because we already know the logic for this. Here in this we'll be getting an event, and we'll be getting the information like the index is going to be event dot target dot event dot target dot data set dot index. And in order to get the value, we will be using event dot target dot value simply. Event dot target dot value. Now after getting both of these, we just have to update this list. Now how I'll be updating? I'll be simply writing I'll be writing this dot skills, and here I'll be specifying the index, and here I'll be specifying the value. And now after this, I am going to call a function which I have defined at many places, like here, personal information. So I'll copy this update resume function, and I'm gonna be using it here as well. Yeah, so this time the event name is going to be update skill, update skills. So let me change it here as well. Update skill event. And this is the this is the variable name, right? Uh, and this we are dispatching over here. Yeah, that's it. So I need to simply call it from here, this dot update resume. Yeah, I have to update the details as well. Here I have to write skills. Yeah, this is the fun one function I need to define, and in order to complete its part, like half part, I need to go to resume builder. Again, I have to create another function. I'm sending the data in details itself. And here, like I'll be creating another property, which is going to be skills. It's going to be empty array initially. Here I'll write a skills. And after this, I have to specify, just for debugging purpose, I am specifying here skills. The name I need to change from somebody to skills. I need to call it from here. So here the handler is going to be on what's here. Let's see what event I am dispatching. The event I am dispatching is update skills. So here I have to go to the resume builder HTML, and I have to specify on update skills. And the function which we are going to call is we have already defined, that is handle update skills. And that's it. So let's simply deploy all of these. Oh, and then after that add function. Okay, I have to define this one as well. Let me define this. So add skill function, what I'll be doing in this code, like add skill part in this function, what I'll be doing, I'll increment, like I'll push a new empty but incremented JSON. So what I need to do is I need to access this dot skill. I need to check this dot skills dot size. -1 I need, or yeah, size I need. So that is going to be our like next index is going to be this one. And I just have to push this dot skills dot push the brackets. I have to specify an object which is going to be having ID, next index, and having the name which is going to be empty. Yeah, so here we are using name. Yeah, okay, so this is the mistake we did. We did like put it double quotes here, but I have corrected it now. Now let's deploy this, and let me deploy the resume builder as well. Yeah, it is also getting deployed. So let's see. I have hard refreshed the page, but yeah, still let's simply, yeah. So you see here we have like this is skill section. Now if I'll click on this add skill, nothing is happening. Okay, we need to check this. But if I'll write something here, are we getting the value? See if I'll copy it. Yeah, we are getting the proper value. Okay, so then it's fine. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, here we are getting an array. It's simply, okay, I think I have to change something in the code. In the skills JS, when I'm typing something, we're sending this dot skills. So at a particular index, we are assigning this value. Okay, that's the mistake. So we simply have to go to a particular index and then we need to assign the name. This name attribute, we need to assign a value. So that was the mistake we did. Let's simply deploy it again. Yeah, here we'll refresh the page with empty cache. And let's see. Here I'll write something, hello. So that whole data, I think hello is getting like sent to the parent. You see this one. Now if I'll click on add skill, it's not working. Let's see. I need to do debug here as well and add skill function. So here, okay. So the mistake is like I'm using size here, but in JavaScript we have length, not size. So let's use that. Yeah, and I think and just to verify, I'll just put a console here, console.log1. For what is the name I can give here? Skill, add skill 1 and add skill 2. And after this, add skill 3. Let's see. Deployed, empty cache, and seeing okay. So everything is working fine, but the UI is not changing. Maybe I need to use @track in this case because we are adding something to the array. So let's use @track, right? Now deploying this again. So Now for arrays and objects, if you want to make them reactive, we have to use @track. So that's something which we did used. Let's see. I'll click on add skill. Now it's working perfect. So that is the functionality we built. Hello, and here write, let's say Java. And if I'll see here, yeah, so both the skills are sent to the parent component, which is resume builder component, right? So now we'll be moving ahead with the education and the work experience section. So here in this education one, what changes we need to make? We need to use template for each. We need to use template for each. And yeah, the same changes like we had made there in the skill section. So we'll be traversing over educations, a property which I am going to create in the in the GS part that I'll do. And here I'm gonna be like using for item. It's going to be like education, and for index will be there, like for the index, because we'll be having multiple items, so that's why we need index here. Multiple educations will be there. So yeah, template for each is ready. And yeah, again we have, as we are like, you can see like all the lines became red because we have to make a key, like we have to put a key there. You see, here we have to put the key attribute in the div tag. So it's going to be like education dot index. And now you are wondering like where this index id education dot id, and like you are wondering like how this education we are getting, have we defined something like this there in the JS? No, we haven't done yet, but we'll be doing it just now. So here in the JS part, we have to create a property education. It's going to be an array with a zeroth index as an object. ID will be 0 and the value will be like, there are multiple things in education. Let's see. So in education we have three things: degree, institute, and the year. So degree is going to be the another key, and then we'll be having year, and then this institute. Yeah, so these things will be there, and still we are getting some issues here. So lightning card is not fine. Okay, we have put it the closing tag, template tag at a wrong position. Let me just put it at the correct place. Yeah, that's done. Okay, so yeah, we have the template tag now. Uh, like, and inside that the whole div and the button for adding the education is there. I need to keep this button outside this template for each. Let me just do that, because this button is not going to repeat again and again. So you see the button is single, in here you see button is single, but the value, these input fields are repeating, right? When we click on add experience, add education or button, right? So the functionality, the features are going to be similar to skills one. So I'm just copying the functions I have created over here, and I'm gonna be using the similar functions there in the education JS file. So yeah, here's the functions like skill. Instead of a skill, wherever the skill word is coming, I'm just replacing all over here in this file with education, right? And this will be small e, and this, yeah, we have to take care of that. For the event name will be all in a small. So, and this property is going to be same. Again, e will be small here, and e will be again small here. Yeah. So that's done. Now after this, we need to, as here, like there in the skill section, there was only one input, C. So what we did is we simply got the value and we assigned it to the name attribute. But in case of education, we have multiple items, and in from the HTML also we'll be getting multiple items. So first of all, just to identify which item we are getting, we need to give attributes to these input fields, like data dash field will be there, and it will be assigned with like education. I am just giving I have to just give the field name here. Like the field name is going to be degree for this one. This is going to be like, just let me just copy this and paste it over here and over here. Yeah, it's going to be institute name, like institute, and here it's going to be the year. Yeah, so the field I have is specified. Now, other than that, we need to specify the index as well. So for that, another attribute I'll give data dash index. I'm not explaining it like properly like here, because we had already done the similar kind of thing in the skill part. So here we have to, for indexing, we have to give index. Like this is something we need to do here in every item. Let's see. That's it. So we had given the field, we had given the index. Now in the JS file, in this function, other than getting the index and value, we need to get the field as well. So field would be the same as this one, event.target.dataset.field field, right? And once we got all this, now we need to update this education. So it's not going to be this simple. It's going to be this dot education index, and then we have to specify the field name, because there are three fields here, not only one name. Like the skill section, here we have multiple fields, so we'll be using field, and the value we'll be getting from the HTML itself using event.target.value. After that, we are calling update resume function. In that, we are creating an event, update educations event. And here we are passing the property this dot education. And after that, we are dispatching it to the dispatching it to the parent components. So update education event. This is the event we are like passing in this. And there is another function. This the like add education function. This will be used whenever like this is for like whenever someone clicks on this, a new fields section should be available. So what we need to do, like we got the length here. Instead of this one, we need to change it to, yeah, with all these updated fields specifically for education. Yeah, so keeping it like this. Now ID is going to be next index. Yeah, that's it. So done. We are done with the education part. Now I'm gonna be deploying it. Also, the changes I have made here, but I have and also I haven't put it the handler here. Like I need to put the handler like on. What I need to do, on change, and the handler name is going to be on hand education change. So this is the handler function. This is the event on change. I'll put it here and here. Yeah. And here, instead of handle click, on click of add education button, it should be calling add education function. Add education, which I have defined over here. Yeah, add education. So same name I need to use. Okay, now deploying this. Now here in the resume builder also I have to make the same kind of change. Like I have to create a function, and it's this is going to be handle update education, and here it's going to be educations, yeah, which we'll be getting in the detail. So let me create the educations property here, which is going to be an empty array initially. That's it. Now here in the HTML, I'll write for the education on education, like whatever the event name I had given in the JS. So the event name was this one, education, update education. So let's go back there in the HTML of the resume builder. We are having on update educations. Here we need to specify the function which is going to be handle update. Let me just copy the name. Handle update education. Okay, that's done. Deploying this. Yeah, let's see if it's working properly or not. Let's refresh the page here. Yeah, so here I'll write something. Hello. It's like calling function. We are getting some data. Let's see it's correct or not. Yeah, it's giving the degree as hello. Year institute name I'm specifying like this. Specifying the year as this. Okay, let me just copy the updated data which we are getting. Yeah, so we are getting this data. Okay, if I'll add an education here, it's not working. Add education is not working. Why? Let's see. Okay, here again, like in the skills section I had used at the rate track the same way I have to use here as well, at the rate track. At the rate track, I need to import it. You see, now it's working. So yeah, some rough dummy data I have put it now. Game ABC1. Let's see. I'll copy this and see if it's like we are getting the correct data or not. Yeah, we are getting the correct one. So it's working fine. Now we'll make the change, the same change we'll be making in the work experience one. Here, like we need to use template for each first. So let me just copy it and paste it over here. Here it's going to close. And here we have to use the key attribute, which is going to be, before that, I need to put here work experience. Yeah, experiences. And here it's going to be work experience. And here it's going to be index itself. So work experience dot ID I'll specify. And here at all of these lines, I have to give some IDs like data dash index. It's going to be equals to index, as simple as that. Then I need to specify data dash field. It's going to be work experience dot job. Like for the first one, it's going to be job title, or let's directly write title. And the next one is going to be name of the company. And the third one is going to be start date. And the fourth one is going to be end date. Yeah, end date, start date. Okay. And yeah, so after this HTML part is almost set. Yeah, I have to add one more thing, the handler function. So let's keep the handler function as like on the event on change. The handler function is going to be handle work experience update, work experience update, right? Work experience change, let's say. Yeah, and here it's going to be add work experience. That's all. Yeah, I think it's done. So let's simply copy the JS of education. It's going to be almost similar to the education one. So let me just put it here in the JS of this. I'll import track here. Yeah, it's going to be, in this case, it's going to be title. Then it's going to be name of the company. And it's going to be start date. Then it's going to be end date. That's it. And after all these, like, let me just copy it. And the property name is going to be work experiences. I'll copy this and I'm going to be putting here handle work experience change. So it's going to be dataset dot index field value. And that's all correct. But here it's going to be again work experiences instead of education. Yeah. And I'm simply reutilizing the same kind of code because like the functionality is similar. So not writing from very scratch for this work experience or for any other thing. I do not want to repeat the things again and again. So that's why I'm just copy pasting and just replacing the updating the property name and the variable names. It's going to be like okay, what I'll do is I'll update all wherever we are getting education. I'm simply replacing it with work experience. Work experience. And wherever this dot work experience I have used, I need to replace it with this work experiences. W will be smaller, right? So that's done. Now, after that, this education word, wherever is coming, I need to update it with work experience. That is the function I have specified over here, add work experience. Yeah, done. And after this, I need to, yeah, I need to, what I need to do, work experience, push, I am doing this. So sorted, I feel it's correct. Okay, I need to change this one. So what I'll do is I'll copy this part and paste it over here. Hmm, seems good. I don't think there is any problem in the code. Okay, yeah, event name should be having W small, E small. Yeah, let me just copy this now. Event. I'm gonna be handling this event in the resume builder. So for work experience, again, I have to handle on update work experience. There will be a function which I'll be calling, it's going to be handle update work experience. And this function I have to define over here. It's going to be same, like it's going to be having the same similar kind of code. So just I'll replicate the previous one, which is update education. This kind of code I'll replicate over here. I need to change with work experience. Says and yeah, here it's going to be work experiences. Here it's going to be work experiences. I have to specify event keyword here. Yeah, done. So let's simply deploy this work experience component, and then we'll be deploying the resume builder component, and let's see what happens. Deploy it, and now let's see if it's working properly or not. Okay, so here we have like work experience component. Let me click on add experience. You see another one came here. I'll write hello. Oh, I'm getting an error here at this point. Okay, let's see what is the issue here. I think I haven't. I did used work handle work experience change, and what is the function name here in. Okay, so the function name was wrong. Let me deploy again. Deployed. Let me check. Now you see I am writing something and I'm getting like all the things are getting called. Another job title, hello world. So now let's see if it's giving us the right output or not. I'll copy the object, I'll clear the console and I'll paste it over here. You see we are getting this whole thing, but yeah, there is a mistake somewhere. See, uh, we are not getting the start date nor the company name. Okay. and not even the title. Okay, so there is a problem somewhere. I've used field here, and in the HTML, I'm using data.field. Okay, it's not going to be this. It will be like title. Okay, I just have to pass a string over here. So name, it's gonna be start date. That is the mistake we did. And yeah, now deploying this. Deployed, let's see again. So I'll write the work experience as SF dev, company name, new, whatever it is. Let's see if we are getting the right data or not. Copy the object again. I'll clear the console. I'll paste it over here. You see, we are getting some data. Okay. If I'll add the experience here, and if I'll write something over here like SF consulting, and the company name is something like this, and the start date is something like this, and the end date is something like this. So if I'll now copy this, clear the console, remove this and paste it over here. So we are getting the correct data. As what we have mentioned in here, we are getting exactly the same over here in the resume builder. Okay, so that's done. Like work experience, we are done with. We are done with the education. We are done with the personal information functionality. Like half part we are done. Like sending the data from what I can say from the these child components to the resume builder component. That is something which is already like which we had completed. Now we are going to work on the preview functionality. So we'll be creating another child component which is going to be preview resume component, and in that we'll be using all of these property values. So let's create a component preview resume. This is the name of the component. Okay, and in this component, I'm gonna be having HTML and there will be a JS. So first of all, in the JS, there will be some public properties. These public properties will be receiving the data. So what I'm going to do is in the resume builder component, the JS, I have created some properties like these. I have created personal info. These all, where is education? I haven't created. Okay, I think I have to declare that as well. Education. Yeah. So these all properties I have to define there in the like what I can do is I can define these properties in preview resume as well. But and I have to make them public. So each of these I have to make them as public. So what I can do is can use @API. This is something which I can do. I need to import API decorator. So API decorator is something which we use in order to make the properties public. As now these properties are public, so their data we can get from the resume builder. How we'll be getting? We need to first use this preview resume component over here. We need to refer it resume component, and after that here we'll be getting all the property values like personal information, personal dash I kebab case syntax we have to write, and that will be assigned with personal information. personal info. And for summary, like we are going to do the same. Summary will be assigned with summary property. Uh, so please do not get confused that we have to give the same name. No, it's not necessary. This personal info property denotes the property defined inside this preview resume. And I am assigning to this personal info property, which is there in the resume builder JavaScript, right? Both are different properties. So this is the child property. This is the parent property I am assigning, right? So that's done. Now after that is skills. For the skills part, similar to summary, we need to assign the value in this way. And then we have to assign the value for work experience. Like it's going to be kebab case. Like E will be smaller, dash will be there before E, right? And education, last one, education. So it's going to be, yeah, that's it. So all these information will automatically go into the preview resume component whenever the page loads, or whenever someone will be typing in here, it's going to go into this preview resume. Now we have the values in the preview resume. So what we need to do, we need to simply work on the HTML part, how the things going to look like. So for that, what we can do is we need to what we need to do, we need to check here. Yeah, so here we need to check like how it's working. So if I'll write the whole information, let's say here I'll write Harry Potter again, and the email I'll write as harry@gmail.com, and there will be phone number, there will be address, there will be some degree. Okay, so let's do for this particular part. So how it's looking like, it's like the first name is coming in like a little a larger size, and the email and the phone number and the address are coming separated by the pipe, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll be using h2 tag. Let's use that here for H2 or H1 or H3, whichever we want to use, we can use that, like H1 or H2, anything. Because H2 is not going to make any difference, because I think it's going to have the same size as the P tag. In LWC, it is enforced. So let's see. Here I'll be using, I have this personal info. So what I can do, in the preview HTML, I can write personal info dot full name. Right, so this is I can specify. After that, there will be p tag with email first. Like for that, again, I have to use personal info dot email, and then pipe, then personal info dot phone, and it's gonna be personal info dot the address. Yeah, after doing this, after specifying all these three things, what we can do, we can move ahead with the education section. So education section is also having a little higher text, like heading, like what I can say, little larger size of the font. So okay, that we'll do. So first of all, let me just put it here. Let me keep this in a separate div, and I'll keep the rest education one in a different div. Then yeah, so here another div for education, h2 tag, let's say education, and it's going to be like b tag. Okay, so let me just fill in the information. So here p tag, and the institute name is, let's say, XYZ1, year is 2012. And if I'll see how it's looking like, it's looking like this. Okay. So, okay. So it's simply like all are in different lines. Education, then the the P tag will be there for, and that will be having a strong text or bolder text for the education, and another one without any strong or bolder text for the institute name. And then for the year, again, same thing. Yeah, so education will come from which property? It's going to come from education's property. It's an array. So we need to traverse over the array. We need to use for each here. For each. Wait, so it's going to be template for each. Template for each on educations, for item, education, for index, index. I don't know is there if there is any need of this or not, index one. But yeah, let's keep it for now. Yeah, template, and putting it over here. So as we know, when it comes to for each, we have to use in key, like template div. I'll keep a div, and that div I'll be assigning a key attribute. Key attribute. Key attribute with the value. Value will come from education. Do have the ID. So I'll be using ID. ID itself. Yeah, that's done. Now after this, like education dot IDs, ID I have specified here. I can use education dot degree. Education dot degree. Like in a similar way, I can specify education dot institute. Institute. And I can specify education.eo. After doing this, let's move ahead now. We'll be now moving with the next section, I think. Yeah, so here we have the next section, which is going to be degree. So let's do specify the degree here. So that's done. Like for the education part, BTech or let's say MTech, I can specify. If I do that, you see how it looks like. It's look like this, in this way. Okay, so let's move ahead now. We'll start with the work experience. So work experience is, let's say, Salesforce dev. So the company name is XYZ or ABC one, and the year is the date is, let's say, 17th July 2020 15, something like this. So yeah, you see work experience heading is coming as same as, like, almost as same similar to the education one. So what we did in the education one, let's do there here as well. Yeah. And after this, The next thing is like bolder text of the profile name and then the company name which is like after the comma, and then the start date and end date like separated by dash. So here I have to in one p tag I have to simply specify, okay, and it's going to be multiple work experience. So here the heading will be work experience and there will be multiple work experience again for like for each template we'll be using. And it's going to be loop over the work experience property, which I have defined in the JS. So work experience, it is work experiences, and here I have to specify work experience. And yeah, work experience dot, it's going to be the title in strong, and after that there will be a comma, and then we have to specify the work experience dot company name, just name itself, and then we have to specify in the next line start date and stop date separated by dash. Removing this from here, yeah, that's done. Okay, so work experience is there, template for each, for item, for index is there. For item, okay, for item should be in double quotes. Yeah, it's a variable name we need to specify, so that is work experience. Yeah, so this is something which we were required to do. It's going to be instead of education, it's going to be work experience, and work experience. Yeah, that's done. Now moving ahead, after this, there will be skills. So another div for the skills part. And yeah, it's going to be skills. And here we have to specify, like we need to use for each loop. And that will be over skills property. Skill will be there. Yeah. Okay, so skill dot id need to specify, skill dot name will be there, and that will not come in bold. It's going to be coming in the form of list. So for that we can use li list tag. Yeah, that is something which we can do without any space. So we'll keep list as the li tag as the main div, and I'll remove this div. Yeah. Okay. Now after that there will be summary section. It's going to be similar. Summary. And let's see how it looks like. If I write something here, it's a normal text appearing over here. Okay. So let's do one thing. H2. Instead of H2, we'll use p tag, and here I'll specify summary. That's it. And closing the div. Okay, one more thing here. I am observing that there is a line appearing. Yeah, it's this time it's line only. So horizontal line. So for that, after this div, I can use HR tag. And there is a like above and below margin. So you can give a vertical margin in the HR tag, like I'll use the class, and value will be a vertical class, a vertical margin. So margin, I need to go and check the margin. It's going to be vertical. So let's keep it, yeah, this much. Yeah. So yeah, I think this much is fine. This much. Copying this and pasting over in the code. Okay. And done. So we got an error like for item is expected to be a string. Okay. In this case, it should be a string. Let's try again. Deploy it. Let's deploy the resume builder and let's see how the things are looking like, and then accordingly we'll make the further changing and the final changing changes. Like let's see. Here we have, I'll refresh the page. I'll write something over here. Let's say I'll write Harry again. So see here, like it's printing, it's not printing Harry. It's printing, it only had like printed Hatch. Why? What I did? The personal info, we are passing the personal info. Yeah, Harry I have written, and then in email if I'll specify something. It's also not reflecting over here. Now it's reflecting. Okay, so let me refresh the page again. Either maybe I have to use at the rate track. That could be the possibility. Like if I'll be using at the rate track, then it's going to work properly. So that is the reason maybe it's not working, but let's try again without track. It's going to be Harry. No, okay. So let's try using at the rate track. So for arrays and like objects, we'll use track. For rest, they are all reactive, rest others are. So here, the summary is the only one which is a string, so not using track for that. But yeah, for education and work experience skills, all of these I am using track and now deploying the code. See, still it's printing hatch only. I'll add something here in the skill, another skill I'll add. Summary, if I am writing, it's working properly for summary and everything for work experience. Yeah, for work experience also it's working fine. Very probably it's working, but for personal info it's not working. Let's see what exactly the problem is. I'm using full name property, and if I'll check the education in the personal info, I have data field as full name only. Here in the JS, I am okay. Also, I can check in the console as well. Like, is I am getting the proper value. So it's completely fine. Like it's like coming over here properly. But it is not updating over here. So what I need to, I have to check in the resume builder. Maybe the reference is going, maybe that's why it's like not rendering the UI again. So what I can do is, if that is the problem, what I can do is I can like here you write json.parse, json.stringify. Let's see, deploying again. Let's hope it's going to work. Yeah, so this time it's working properly. So here, like I'll write Harry. I'm writing Harry Potter. It's coming like this in this format, but I want a bigger size text. So for bigger text size text, I can search here in the Lightning design system, like text, or yeah, I can write header. Hmm, header or size. I can search the size for the text. Taking time to load. Or I can use font. Let me search for font size. Yeah, maybe I'll get something here. It's giving something like font size. Font size. Design tokens are there, like any SLDS class we have for font size. Model header was there, but it was not opening. Yeah. Where exactly this is set on? Let's see. Okay, I think I need to search for over Google for font size. Font size has LDS class in LWC Salesforce. See, yeah, you see, like something like this we want, but not that much larger. Yeah, this much is enough, I think. If I'll check here, this is something we want Harry Potter size text, and if I'll check compare it with the SLDS one, seems a little larger. Maybe this one will be best. Let's copy this, and I'm gonna be giving the styling in the preview component. Where's the preview component we have? Yeah, H2 class is going to be this one. Yeah, done. After that, we have some text, and then these headings are there. Like education is there, so education is having a little lighter text and a smaller size. Mm, okay, so this is the smallest one, I think. So let's use this one for the full name. We'll use this one, the medium one, medium heading. And for these headings, we'll be using small. Yeah, so let me copy this whole class. And I'm gonna be using it for work experience, for skills, for summary. That's all. Yeah, that's done. And if I'll, yeah, and other than that, what we need other than that, if I'll check here, this one is bolder. For that, I have used a strong tag. Okay, if I'll write something here in this, harry@gmail.com, and the phone number is something like this. Address is going to be Jaipur, RJ, and then the degree is going to be B Tech, let's say. Institute is, let's say, XYZ 1, and year is going to be 2012. Adding education, another degree, let's say MTech, then XYZ 2, year is like 2025, and okay, and here job title is going to be SF Dev, company name is going to be ABC1, start date 17th July 2024, and date, let's keep it 2020, 15 or 16. So the text, the headings are not on as a bigger size, but everything looks fine. But there is a need of spacing, like somewhat some space spacing is needed. Like HR tag, HR tag I have used, but there is again like I have to increase the margin of HR tag as well. And other than that, I have to, yeah, I have to use HR tag almost everywhere. Not only this one, I have to use here as well. I have to use here as well. Okay, after every, and also I have to increase its size. So it's going to be not extra small, it's going to be small. And I'll keep this after every section. And the font size we have increased. And for the bolder text, like work experience is going to be strong. That's there. But the size of the content is less, smaller. Yeah, here the text is smaller, but the spacing is there. Like after education, there is a space. For that, have I done something for that? No. So I need to give the margin for this work experience as well. This is something which is, yeah. So margin I can add. Yeah. So like these changes, these couple of changes we need to do. Okay. So let's do that. So what I can do for the margin part, I can add the margin here as well. Let me deploy. Now let's check. So here I'll write Harry Potter, and email is going to be harry@gmail.com. And if I'll check the size of the text, yeah, it seems like similar, But yeah, again, like there is a need of margin. Some, I think some spacing is required. Like here, there's a padding as well, like spacing with the right, left padding is there needed. Okay. It's coming like this now. Seems like good for now, but yeah, we can make it very much accurate by just comparing. It's going to take time, so I'm not doing it. But now I think you understood how we can design the things if we get a requirement, how we can design the things with this project. Like we are clear with the concepts which we wanted to cover. I think it's covered now. Everything seems sorted, like the personal like the concepts which were required to learn or for you to practically implement were like SLDS styling. We had covered that, how to use that. We can simply search the styling over lightning design system, and if we do not able to find it, we can search over Google as well, and we'll be able to get to that particular page. Just we need to do a little bit of research. Then component library, we have used pre-built component like input box, lightning card. So that is something which we did used. We did use the concept of parent to child, child to parent, and also we had manipulated with objects and arrays as well a little bit. But yeah, we did that, and we got to know like track is, in some cases track is needed, and in some cases even after track we have to use like JSON.stringify or parse in order to remove the reference part. Like here we did in the resume builder for the education, for the personal information part, like this one, we did made this change like json.parse and json.stringify, so that the copy will get created for this, so that this property will get reinitialized. And once the property get reinitialized in the LWC series, I did cover this concept that whenever the property get reinitialized, automatically the UI renders. So if you are facing the issue of UI rendering, for that we can do this as well. Right. So that is something which we did cover. And event handling, right? Every point here we were doing the event handling. Like whenever the user is typing something, at that moment we have to we were doing the event handling at that moment in every single input field. So that is about this whole project.